Hello all and welcome to another episode of Tom's Gaming World, and here we are back in a place you probably haven't seen for a while, my games room. Now my games room that's at my parents' house, because obviously I've moved away now. So here's a quick look around the room. I'm not going to do a game room tour this year because not a lot has changed since last year's game room tour, and I've also taken stuff out of here to move into my new place. But that's the gist of things at the minute. It's in a bit of a state. There's some PS2 games here, as you just saw. Yeah, so things have moved around a little bit as I've been moving stuff out of here. Anyway, what you see down here is some Saturn games, because I'm going to do a Saturn collection video soon. I hope you've been enjoying those. And over here is a monitor, because I've just been messing around with something I discovered in a box this morning that I'd forgotten about. Not forgotten, but I knew I had it, but I didn't see if it was particularly necessary at the minute. This is a Dreamcast VGA adapter, so this plugs into here. Of course, no sound because this monitor's got no speakers. You can get sound through this thing. So I've got some headphones somewhere. Yeah, got some headphones here. So that's how you get the sound out of it. I suppose alternatively, if you can maybe hook these up. Hook these up to something, and then maybe the TV even. Anyway, the cord isn't very long, because this thing isn't very long that connects to the back of the Dreamcast, so you can't really go very far. So you have to sit pretty much on top of the monitor with these headphones on. Whew. Anyway, yes, here we are once again, and it's kind of nostalgic to be back here, and it's given me the opportunity to root out a few things to take back with me. One thing that I'm going to do a review on is this thing, which is the 3DO soldier pad. Here's the original packaging with it. So this is something I might have mentioned. I think I did mention it in my 3DO collection video. So this pad is a 6-button pad. It looks weird, but actually I remember this working pretty well. Any new pickups to show you? Well, yes indeed. New 3DO pickup, of course. I caught the 3DO bug after doing that video. Daedalus Encounter. So I looked this up. It's been something I've been after for a while. I looked it up online and found it to be really interesting. There's a lot of FMV. It's FMV and puzzles, just like a lot of games are of this particular era. So I think it's across 4 discs as well, each disc lasting about 40 minutes depending on how good you are at the puzzles. So that's interesting pick up there. I haven't picked this up recently, but I'm playing a bit of Road Rash. I want to remind myself of some of these Saturn games before I do the collection video. And there you can see I haven't got a huge collection of PAL Saturn, and that makes it perfect for doing a collection video, because I think there's only certain consoles I'm going to be able to do full collection videos for, because some consoles, especially the N64 and the Dreamcast, 360, PS2, PS1, Wii, all those consoles, I have hundreds of games, and that's far too many to do a collection video on, because I just have to show you a game and then move on to the next one, and that's not, I don't think that's interesting to most people. You could see a list if that's what you want to see. I'm on vgcollect.com, so if you want to check that out, my username's Doodlebug500 there, so which is the same as my Twitch. When I do Twitch, I haven't been able to do that while I've been back here, but once I'm back at my place, I'll be able to do some twitching and some YouTube streaming, so I can finally crack on with Shenmue 3. So I have made a few other pickups recently, and here they are. So WWE 2K Battlegrounds for the Switch, and Super Mario 3D All-Stars again for the Switch. So I'll show you them both now, and let you know my thoughts on these two recent Switch pickups. So first up, it's Mario 3D All-Stars, and The menu was a little bit disappointing, I thought, at first. It's all there, it's all functional, but I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more fanfare. It's very workmanlike, the menu is, but as soon as you jump into the game, doesn't it just look fantastic? So sharp. Of course, you'll notice immediately it's in 4:3 ratio. You would expect 16:9, but that wasn't the case with this. But you could argue that Nintendo are trying to go for that nostalgia feeling, perhaps, and replicating the game exactly as you remember it. But that's not something they did in the next game we're going to take a look at. But Mario 64 is a classic game. This is great fun to play. It's got some higher resolution textures in places. As I say, it's still every bit as playable as it was first time round, and I'd say this is the best way to play Mario 64 now. Interesting to know, it's also a port of the second release of the game in Japan. The game was released a second time in Japan, adding additional rumble features and actually fixing a few of the little bugs that were in the game. So you get the best version of Mario 64. Of course, that means no So Longy Bowser line. So moving on to Super Mario Sunshine now. And it looks gorgeous, and unlike Mario 64, they're actually presenting this game in 16:9 ratio, so it sort of goes against my idea that they presented Mario 64 in 4:3 to retain that feeling of playing the original game. Anyway, it works great here. I mean, it's got large expansive areas, so it suits Sunshine well. Sunshine's not my favourite Mario game. I wanted something a bit more pure Mario platforming. But it's good to see Nintendo trying something different with the flood mechanics. That's the jetpack and water gun that Mario uses in the game. But it's not one of my favourite 3D Marios, unfortunately. And then moving along to WWE Battlegrounds. So I was hoping this would be just like WWE All-Stars, which was a game I loved back on the Xbox 360. Now, it does seem like it's going for the same thing. Looking at the game, you've got these super deformed characters. Actually look really good. I mean, I'm playing this on Switch and the graphics look nice, especially in these entrance sequences, as you can see here with The Undertaker. The gameplay, though, it's like nearly there. It's very much like All-Stars, but something about it isn't quite as satisfying, which is, it's strange. Everything you'd think would work great. There are some extra additions in this game that weren't in All-Stars. For example, you give your wrestler sort of special abilities, and you can set these up at the start of the matches. Now, I've played through the first part of the story mode on this game now, and I still can't really appreciate what these special abilities give you, or quite know how to make use of them. So even though the game does have a tutorial which does teach you the basics pretty well, it doesn't really go into those skills too much. At least I was too busy playing to notice if it was. But yeah, it's satisfying. It's over the top, as you saw there. You know, you're flinging the other wrestlers up into the air like you did in All Stars. There's just something about it. It's very easy to begin with. Not easy in the second part of the story mode, and not easy if you were to go in a match like this, which is just a single player exhibition match, where I think the game really comes into its own when it's a bit more challenging. There's some cool things like cage matches, electrified cage matches, which work really well. This is the story mode, and you choose a unique wrestler, not a WWE superstar, and every part of the story you're playing as a different wrestler. So in the second part now of the story, you're playing as another character, and the Battlegrounds term comes into play because now you're playing an entirely different battleground, and which includes crocodiles, which you'll see in the gameplay footage in a bit. But here's a fatal four-way match, so you can get 4 wrestlers in a ring at a time, which is great, very chaotic. But yeah, plays well. It's fun. It's a good game. I can recommend it. It just doesn't reach the levels of All Stars for me, and why that is, I don't know. It might have something to do with the available wrestlers in the game. There's not all of those classics that you expect in the roster. Here's the crocodile ripping into the other wrestlers there, and you know, these things are cool and make the game a little bit unique. So it's a nice entry, and it's probably better than what we would have got if we'd have had a regular 2K wrestling game. What else have we got here? What else have been digging up while I've been here? Well, these things. I forgot. Well, nearly forgot I had these. These are great. They're for Dreamcast, as you can. Whoa, if I can get this right, I think you can see by the connection here. And it's called the DC Connection 3-in-1, letting you plug in Sega Saturn controllers, PlayStation controllers, and what's that? A keyboard if you don't have the Dreamcast keyboard. Now I've got 2 of these. Great for fighting games. But if you haven't got one of those and you want to, what I recall as being a good controller for fighting games, I also dug this out as well. This is the, it's made by ASCII. Yeah, the ASCII pad it's called for Dreamcast. So I'm going to give this a go actually, because it's been a long time since I've used it, and maybe I'll give it a go through the Dreamcast VGA. Okay, so here we are with the Dreamcast running through its VGA adapter. Not enough memory. Here's what a memory card looks like when it's in one of these controllers. It sticks out quite a lot. But yeah, this is just to show you VGA here. Of course, you're not going to get a great idea of the quality of this, but it does look good to the eye. And yeah, it's cool to do this. Another reason I've got this plugged into this and not that is because, so I've only got an RGB Scart lead for my PS1. I mean, that's plugged in the back of this TV. And if you look at the TV, well, yeah, getting around the back of that to plug in anything is quite difficult. Only got one RGB socket I can use, because unfortunately the Scart switcher block I've got here, which you can hardly see in the darkness there, that has an RGB button but it doesn't seem to work anymore. So anything that's got RGB Scart, which is my PlayStation and my Dreamcast, I can only plug in one thing at a time. So PlayStation's in there, Dreamcast. So I thought, well, considering I've got this VGA adapter, then we'll use that. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's take a look at Marvel vs. Capcom 2 running VGA, and how does it play with this particular controller. So as you can see, it looks quite nice actually. I expected VGA to look good. I've never used VGA with a console before, but it gives a nice sharp image, and yeah, it's pretty cool. In conclusion, just having played this again with this controller, wow, this controller's so good. I'd forgotten how good it actually was. You can get hold of one of these, totally recommend it. It's a great alternative to the Saturn pad if you like fighting games. Everything just feels nice and smooth, you know, and your thumb fits quite nicely into a little groove on that bit there. So a bonus controller review for you there. That's the Dreamcast ASCII pad there, perfect for fighting games. And lighting change. It's like this is filmed at a different time of day. So I've got something that may be of interest. While I was back here, I can't conveniently use my Switch. Sorry for the hiccups there. Can't conveniently use my Switch, which is here, on a HD TV. So I've got this little gadget here. So this is my sort of like off-brand Switch dock, which you've seen before, which isn't really a dock. And what we do here is we can connect the Switch. So connected. Oh, it looks like it's made the connection. Then this goes into this box here, and out of this side of the box comes a Scart lead. Now this box has to be powered, as does this adapter for the Switch. So to do this, you will need 2 plugs. Now the problem with it is the connections can be a bit iffy. So that took a bit of fiddling around with, but there we go. So we've got the Switch showing on the CRT TV, which is pretty cool. I mean, it allows me to play Switch games in here, in this room, and to watch YouTube in here, which is quite nice. I'll watch it on a telly. However, as you can see, unfortunately, everything's a little bit squished, which is a bit of a shame. And because the Switch doesn't have a setting for 4:3, I can't get it to appear correctly. It'd be great if it could actually go into some sort of widescreen mode, as say the Wii U does, but screen size won't help you really. TV resolution, you get the three options. There's automatic. Automatic is the same. This is the second one, it just adjusts the signal. But that's pretty much the same as 480p, which is what we're looking at here. But to show you what a game, for example, looks like, a good one to test would be, let's see, let's go on Streets of Rage 4. Everyone loves Streets of Rage 4, and you'll see that, yeah, things are a little bit squished. However, they don't look too bad on this screen. This game, of course, is normally 16:9, but is perfectly playable in this ratio. Also, there's a novelty to seeing a game like Streets of Rage 4 on a CRT TV. Now, I'm just going to do stage select, so I'll show you something. Okay. So, yeah, it's kind of cool, and the colours look good, which was something I was a bit concerned about at first, if the colours were going to come across well or not. But as you can see, I'm playing this one-handed. It actually does look good. I can't pick I can pick things up one-handed in this Streets of Rage. So you can see, there's no lag or anything like that. Not that I expected any, but, you know, perfectly playable like this. So as I sit here on the floor playing Streets of Rage 4 on a CRT TV with a Switch on my lap, I will bring this video to a close. Thank you so much for taking time to watch it. I know it's been a bit of a messy video, but yeah, I thought I'd like to do one while I was back here, at least, to give you an update on some of the things I've picked up. There is a couple more things that I've got to talk about, but we'll save them till the next episode of Tom's Gaming World, because this one's gone on a bit. But if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'll see you again for another one of these shortly. Take care and game on.